but somehow we did. Yeah, we could have attacked more. Yeah. Also, I mean, our 3-point percentage 39% is pretty well. Field goal percentage like from the field 42%. When we reach up to 100 points, is we always score like over 50 or more, or close at least. So yeah, that's affected. But also, we let them outscore us in the first quarter. And we weren't as focused on defensive end. And to second quarter and fourth quarter, we got more stops. But that affect us in the first quarter. Scores affect us. So yeah.
And then can you just talk about Elizabeth Williams' presence, both offensively and defensensely inside? Yeah, tonight was probably her best offensive night of the season.
Yeah, it's season high, right? 18 points. But more than that, Liz is doing a lot for us. Other than scoring. So she got 4 screen assists that we charting. She got 4 assists additional to that. So, and she also got 9 rebounds, 3 deflections, which we count also chart on the bench, and 1 steal and 1 block shots. So it is pretty impressive. We just, it wasn't enough. We just couldn't pull tonight. So.
Steven?
Hey, Coach. In the fourth quarter, it seemed like the ball kind of stuck on one side of the court when you guys were in the half court. I was wondering, was there anything you saw in terms of the flow that was lacking?
Well, as I said, like the fourth quarter, one of those quarter we didn't get a lot stops. So and it's contribute to do that. Like when we're good when we attacking, and they switched a lot. It's just disturbed us a little bit on offensive end. So yeah, we're gonna watch it and we're gonna get better at it. Watch what we work, what it didn't work. So, and come up with different whatever it is working, whatever is not working. We're gonna go work on it and get ready for New York.
And then staying on the offensive side, how did you feel about the shot quality that you all were able to generate, even with the fourth quarter?
Well, yeah, I mean, I said like 39% from the 3-point line, right? Like it's pretty good. Yeah, something that we miss is couple shots down the stretch, and of course affect us. But the biggest difference is free throw line, guys. If you look at it, 5 free throws is not us. We shot 35. The game before we shot 20 something. The game before that, and we shot 20 something before that. Like it's just 5 free throws. It's not. That's the game right there, guys. So it's just you look at it, you see it.
And then Zachary.
4 late game turnovers. What's got to change for you guys to take care of these late game comebacks that you're attempting but kind of falling short on?
Well, we're looking at the right things. You said the turnovers, right?
4 in the fourth quarter.
4 in the fourth quarter?
Double check this for you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 11 turnovers is pretty good.
Right, but I'm saying 4 in the fourth quarter. What's got to get cleaned up in those late game moments?
It's a game. If you watch enough, if you play enough, if you know enough this game, and you can do 4. It doesn't matter. It's just 11 turnovers. Yes, when things are matter, you shouldn't do those turnovers. But 11 turnovers, like take those 4 turnovers. How many games you finished a game? It's like 7 turnovers, 6 turnovers. Very rare. 12 turnovers is pretty good. Perfect, actually. 12 to 11 to 12 to 13 is great turnovers, right? It's not, the game is not there, guys. I'm telling you, game is free throw line. I already made that statement.
And then just the shooting again tonight. You guys have been lights out, 53% from 3, 52% from the field. Tonight was not those same numbers. What was the biggest difference, would you say, in your team shooting?
Just miss the shots. That's it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Zachary?
Hey, Coach. So Courtney, she really came through in the second half with 12 points and ended with 6 assists. And in the first half, she was rendered scoreless. Just wondering if you could speak to her performance, and then what did you tell her after the game? I'm sure she must have felt devastated after that turnover during that last stretch in the fourth quarter.
guys, I mean, it's just not individual thing. I mean, she did down the stretch really good stuff, and I mean, I'm looking at it. She has only one turnover, right? So whole game, one turnover is perfect. 12 points. I mean, she missed a whole lot, but it's okay. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you make, and yeah, we should have been more aggressive today going to the basket. We should have get some foul calls, and we should have go to the free throw line, and we weren't aggressive enough to go in the basket.
Back left corner.
Coach, I want to talk about the defensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, you all allowed a lot of pick and roll to get through, and they scored some buckets off that. Can you talk about your play in defending the pick and roll today?
Defending the pick and roll today?
Yes.
Well, defending the pick and roll wasn't the problem. The problem is on the backside. I think we did a pretty good job on guarding the ball, but we missed some assignment on the backside. We should have been more focused on coming help on the rolls or rotations. It was there, but it was I talked to them in the timeouts too. Like, it wasn't timing wise, it wasn't there. It was there, but it was split second late. So when you split second late, good players are punished at. So we're trying to fix that. We throw some zone there, and we got back with it. We couldn't pull the game today. That's all.
All right, thanks, Coach. No
Yep.
one's in.
Hey, Elizabeth, would you contribute this loss to more of a poor shooting night than anything else?
I mean, that was part of it. Yeah. I mean, I just felt like we didn't have the same energy we had in Dallas. And defensively, I don't think we were as disruptive as we could have been. I mean, you have poor shooting nights, but I mean, I think they shot well in the first quarter, especially, but after that, the game was pretty evenly matched. So if we would have been a little more disruptive, I don't think our shooting roles actually would have hurt us as much.
Coach said just before you got in here that it was aggressive. There was a lack of aggressiveness driving offensively. Is there anything that you can contribute to that? Was it what the defense reads were giving you? What would you point that to?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't as aggressive. Like, we only shot 5 free throws. I can't remember the last time that happened, you know? I mean, I thought they got some extra calls. They shot a lot of free throws, but generally, like, we weren't as aggressive as normal. Getting to the line is just, especially when you're not shooting well, is an easy way to get points. So, I agree that offensively and defensively we weren't as aggressive.
You talk about it being an evenly matched game, and you guys only committed 11 turnovers, but 4 of them came in the fourth quarter. So how impactful are, those late game turnovers, especially when you're rallying, and how do you guys clean those up in big game moments like that?
Yeah, they're big. I mean, if you want to be a championship team, right now we're just working to be a playoff team. You can't do that. Like, that's the simplest way to put it. But I also think, like, we do have to take into account that we really didn't have that many overall. Like, if we had shored up a couple things defensively, had a couple more consecutive stops, hit a couple more shots, sure. I think, it's a 1-possession game.
And then when you're playing a team like the Lynx, or you guys face the Mystics on Sunday, and it's such a tight race there between 6th and 8th place, is there a heavier emphasis? Do you need to take a heavier emphasis on those games, just knowing that you can take a step forward in the playoff race?
Yeah, I think there's a collective understanding the importance of these games, especially with the teams that you have similar records to. And I think we fell short tonight of, accomplishing what we needed to. But yeah, there is an understanding of the importance of these types of games.
Hey, Elizabeth. Like late in the third quarter, you guys compiled like a couple of stops and scores to like bring the lead with the deficit underneath 10 points. And then in the fourth quarter, it seemed like the defense kind of had some lapses. I was wondering, what did you see from your perspective? I know you came in like maybe 2 or 3 minutes in, but what did you see from your perspective on defense in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the aggressiveness piece. I don't know if it's just because, like, the Dallas games, the styles were so different, and the rotations were like had different focuses. If that was the reason, that defensively that we were a little bit late, or not exactly where we should have been. I just think overall the aggressiveness was the biggest issue.
And then for you, so you set about as many screens as anybody in the W this season, especially on a possession-by-possession basis. I think that's like an underrated part of your game. I just wanted to kind of get some insight into your attention to detail and just screening, and how much pride you take in it.
Yeah, I mean, we have really dynamic guards on this team. And so me being a good screener opens things up for them. And then at the same time, it opens things up for me. If people have to, play Ka or Courtney a little bit higher, then, I have this opening for that pocket pass. And I know our team, does well when we are getting in pick and roll and getting risers and getting people moving. So, in film sessions, we talk about screening angles and being aggressive in that way. And I try to do that.
We'll do wrap-up questions for Elizabeth only.
Yeah, just to kind of follow up on Annie's question with these games being a focus, not only that you guys have now played, it'll be 5 or 6 games in about 8 or 9 days. And then a lot of road matches, especially this month. Is that something that you guys have to kind of factor into when you're going through this preparation of wanting to stay in playoff contention and trying to make sure that there's a maintenance of bodies and a maintenance of just physicality throughout August?
Yeah, for sure. And that's also how playoffs are. You're playing basically every other day. And so you want to get into that mindset, and, physically we want our bodies to get to that place as well. But yeah, so we have this understanding of the importance of these games and just taking care of our bodies.
Any more questions for Elizabeth? Thank you, Elizabeth. We'll do
No
questions
problem.
only for Kalia now.
Hey, Ka. Coach said in post just a few minutes ago that it was just today was a lack of aggression from offensively and defensively. One, would you agree with that? And two, is there anything that you can pinpoint as to why that was not present in this game specifically compared to what you guys did in Dallas?
I think we were in the first quarter, we were a step slow to everything. Rotations, communicating defensively, even offensively early. I think that first quarter we were a step slow. Can't tell you why. Yeah, sorry.
And then this is offensively the best night that Elizabeth has put up probably in about a month or so. What did you just see out of her presence in the post and what she can do inside and her growth in this offense from the start of the season to now?
It's good. It's really good because she's finding her confidence. And when she's getting it on the block, she's being aggressive and she's making the right decisions. I think that's really good for us at this point in the season. And also it's good for our offense in general, being able to play inside and making them guard inside, and then she can kick it out and she can find shooters and make the right play. So that's great. I'm glad she's playing well and is confident, because that confidence is what's going to take you to that next level, to be able to, do it night in and night out. And I think she's definitely there.
Sorry. Elizabeth talked about how this was a pretty evenly matched game and y'all finished with just 11 turnovers, but 4 of them came in the fourth. So when you're rallying back like that, which you guys have done in a lot of games this season, how do you shore up those mistakes to kind of get to the finish line?
I think we already know that our margin of error is very slim. So getting down to that fourth quarter, it's even slimmer. So it's about taking it possession by possession, not trying to get it all back in one, and trusting each other a little more, trusting that the ball is going to come back, trusting that next pass, and just trusting each other also defensively.
And then same question I had for her, but it is such a tight playoff race from 6 to 8. So when you go into a game like this against the Lynx, or you guys play the Mystics on Sunday, what kind of sense of urgency needs to be there just in finishing those ones out to take a step ahead in the race?
It's high. It's no secret. Looking at the standings, we talked about it, like right in our huddle coming into the game, just about playoff and where we want to finish and how tight it is, 6 to 8. So we knew this one would have been a really big one for us. But it's over. So, just moving forward, like we just got to continue to put the emphasis on those last couple spots in the playoffs and how important some of these games are for us to finish where we want to finish. So still just drilling it in our heads and reminding ourselves before the game, throughout the game, and just to be able to have that mindset of what we want to do at the end of the season.
Hey, Kalia. Kind of looking at the offensive philosophy change from last season and the old rendition to now. You guys are running like more pick and rolls, and obviously that means you having the ball and initiating that. I was wondering, what's your kind of assessment of how you operated initiating that pick and roll versus obviously playing off the catch more recently?
I'm just like I'm comfortable, more comfortable, and I have to have the ball in my hands a little more. We kind of created a point guard out of Courtney, and she's playing really well. But our offense is big in pick and roll, so I mean, when it comes, I'm just trying to make the right reads and be able to control the game, with me having a lot of touches and having a lot of shots. So, yeah.
Back to Carly.
Kalia, just since the All-Star break, and it's been something that we've seen throughout your career, especially over the last 3 years, there's just this second energy. There's this resurgence, especially offensively. You're putting up more points. Your field goal percentage is higher, even though it is a small sample size. What is it about the second half of the season that helps your offensive game kind of get elevated to new levels?
It's just me. Like when I said I was going to another level, like I was for real. It's not just talk with me. I really want to make it to playoffs. I really want to win. Once you get a taste of winning a championship and just being a winner, that's the feeling that you want to chase. And in order for us to be able to even scratch the surface, I have to be able to be that for us. So I know from the first half of the season to the second half, I can't be the same. So it was important for me to approach this last stretch like I gave it everything that I had. It was better than the first half, and just trying to get my team in a good position. So as the leader, I think this is what I'm supposed to do.
Hey, Kahleah, just to add on to that, just it seems like that you have grown more confident and more comfortable shooting from three. I mean, your first couple baskets tonight were from the 3-point line. So I'm just wondering, like, how comfortable and how confident are you to continue shooting from the 3-point line?
I'm super confident. I think when you work on these things, when the game comes, it's easy. It's not like you just go out there taking shots you never practice. So it's a part of my game that I wanted to grow this year. I know how hard it is to guard somebody that can score at every level. So it's not one thing that you can just stop. So I think the 3 was big for me because of how good I am at the rim. When you come out and guard me now, I'm still getting to what I can get to. So me being able to knock the 3 down consistently does a lot for my game and also for my team.
Last one on your left.
Kahleah, this looks like the bench production. You didn't get a lot of it in this game here. Talk about what they need to do going forward.
You said what?
The bench. Not score a lot in this game here, give you a lot of production. What do you have to do next in the next few games to help you guys most likely get to the next level?
What does the bench have to do?
Yes.
What did you?
I was saying that the bench didn't give a lot of production today in this game here. What do they got to do to help you all out as what they did in the previous game?
What they got to do? What they do last game? That's a real question? You for real?
No, what I'm asking is just really trying to get an idea of what they need to do.
So what the bench do the last game?
They actually played well. They played well.
So what they do this game?
Today they didn't do well this game.
Okay, so what they got to do? Score, right?
Yep.
All right, bet. That's it, right?
Yep.
That's a dumb ass question.